Let's go make some kombucha. Alright, so step one is we bring some water to a boil, 4 cups or 1 quart. And then we just drop in this black tea bag. And we take it off of the heat. So this is our brewing jar, and to clean it, I just put a tiny bit of this apple cider vinegar and shake it around. I shook it around really well, actually. And then I'm just gonna dump it out and rinse it out. Alright, so our tea is done. We're just gonna take this out and then add in our cup of sugar. And then we are just going to dump this into our jug. And then we're just gonna fill up the rest of our jar with cold water. Okay, so we want our tea between 68 and 88 degrees. So we're just gonna test the water. So the water is about 82 degrees, so we're just going to add in our kombucha, starter, tea, and culture. This is what it looks like. It's just like a big SCOBY. Alright, we've got everything in here, so now we are just going to cover it and seal it with a rubber band. And then we'll let it ferment for about 7 days and check it and see how it's doing. Alright guys, it is time to harvest our kombucha. So I'll show you how to put it into bottles and then how to secondary ferment it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take 4 cups of water and boil them on the stove. So to pour the kombucha, I bought this glass pitcher because I don't want to use like a plastic funnel. So I'm just gonna pour the kombucha into here, keeping a little bit of the liquid. Then I'm gonna put the SCOBY in, or both of the SCOBYs, in this container with a little bit of the liquid still. And when you do this, you wanna make sure that everything that you're using is super clean. So I rinsed everything with apple cider vinegar and hot water, and I washed my hands with apple cider vinegar and hot water, just because you don't want any dust or contaminants to get into the kombucha. And then I also took all my jewelry off. So here is our original SCOBY, which grew massively. And then this is our new baby SCOBY, which you'll get another one of these every single time that you make kombucha. So we're going to have 2 jars going just because we want to have more kombucha, like we want to have it every week. So we're gonna be putting the baby into another jar like we did last week. So just pour a little bit of the liquid in here. And I already did this, but generally you just want to take like a straw and taste the kombucha to make sure that it's not too sugary, but it's all good. This has been fermenting for a week, by the way. Alright, so we got our kombucha here. It's really full. We're going to rinse this jar out with apple cider vinegar and hot water. This is our 2 SCOBYs that we're going to transfer into the new jars. Our water is boiling, so we just want to take it off of the stove. Add in, I'm going to use 3 green tea, 3 black tea, organic of course, and then we're going to add in a cup of organic sugar as well. And you want to use just organic cane sugar because that's like the best for the kombucha. It's the easiest for it to digest and turn into probiotics pretty much. So I'm adding this. I'm gonna have to do this again because we have 2 jars that are going. So I'm just gonna do this for the first one, and then I'll do it again. And now I'm gonna show you guys how to bottle it. So with the kombucha like this, it is kombucha and it is beneficial. It has all the bacteria and everything that you need. That has all the probiotics and benefits. But to get it Fizzy, like GT's kombucha or the kombucha that you get in the store, you have to secondary ferment it, which basically means you just put a little bit of sugar into the bottom of the bottles. You can add fruit as well. I'm gonna add pureed strawberries. So I'm just gonna add the strawberries into my blender, and I might add a little bit of holy basil tea and hibiscus tea that I have in the fridge as well. I have frozen strawberries though, so I'm defrosting them in the sink. Then I'm gonna blend them in the blender into a juice, and in the meantime I will set up all of my bottles and pour the kombucha in up to about like 3/4 of the way. So as you can see, this made about 7 bottles and they're filled 3/4 of the way. So the rest of the way I'm gonna add in the strawberry tea. So I'm gonna make that right now. So into my blender I'm just adding in these thawed strawberries. And then this quart of holy basil and hibiscus tea. And then I'm just gonna fill up the rest of these bottles with this mixture. And you only wanna come to about right there, because you wanna leave a little bit of room for the carbonation. All right, everything is done. All right, so here are my bottles that are me fermenting for a second time. You want to ferment these for about 3 to 6 days. I'm gonna try 3 days and then I'll show you guys how it is. But you don't want them to ferment too long or else the bottles can explode because of the carbonation. So we will check these again in 3 days. All right, so it's been 3 days since we secondary fermented the kombucha. I just want to show you guys how fizzy this stuff is. So it's very, very carbonated and fizzy. I wouldn't honestly recommend fermenting it a second time more than 3 days. But the thing that you're gonna get if you use a fruit puree is like these little, I don't even know what to call them, jelly things of fruit. So what you can do is you can either juice your fruit and just use the fruit juice when you put it in the bottles, which I'm gonna do next time. I actually forgot from the last time that I made kombucha because the last time that I made it before this was like a couple of years ago, I forgot that it does that. So next time I'm gonna use juice, I'm just gonna juice like a bunch of strawberries or something. I recommend using a raw juice just because I don't know if a pasteurized juice will kill the kombucha. I don't think it'll kill it, but it'll obviously not be as beneficial. So what I'm gonna do with these bottles is just strain it in a little strainer and take out all the chunks of fruit and then rebottle them, and then they are ready to drink. So that is how you make kombucha and how you ferment it a second time to get it carbonated. Let me know if you guys have any other questions down below, and have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.